I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeLuise.
Mr. Delabate. They had like a special showing of Shin Kamen Rider.
Where was that screening at?
That was at the waterfront. They had Shin Ultraman a bunch of months back, and I missed that, and I really regretted it. So then when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm not going to miss this. So I saw Shin Kamen Rider, really enjoyed it, and so I just figured it would be like an excuse to just talk about Kamen Rider in general and Shin Kamen Rider specifically.
I haven't watched... so when I was in like middle school, there was on Fox something called The Masked Rider.
Masked Rider. Yeah, which I think, I don't know if that's what the word Kamen specifically translates to. Maybe it does. But I know that like Masked Rider is like another name for Kamen Rider.
And because that was like on the tail end, I feel like on the tail end of Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. And I was watching that. And then I would see like, remember Big Bad Beetleborgs? Mm-hmm. Or like the Mystic Knights of... it was like Tyraninog or something like that.
Yeah, because like when Ninja Turtles came out, there were like a million Ninja Turtles imitators.
Like Street Sharks.
And even Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that title is like, oh, let's come up with a title that sounds like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got the same number of syllables and everything. And then when Power Rangers was a huge hit, it's like, okay, let's get every Japanese live action tokusatsu, kind of thing and do the Power Rangers treatment to it.
I haven't watched it since probably I was in middle school, and then we had talked about Kamen Rider before, and then I wanted to get in on the series, and I tell you what, it's a treat. Like, it's a perfect trilogy. I would watch this. I would like to watch it with because this is from 71.
Yeah.
I would intersperse episodes of this with like the Monkeys.
Okay, yeah.
And like the Banana Splits. Like would be like it has that same like feel to it. Just a good feeling and like that era.
Yeah, what a great era. And it's an era that's like kind of like flamboyant and fun and dark too. So it's like all this stuff coming together in like a really fun way. Shin Ultraman is going to be coming to like it's going to be available, digitally and stuff in July. We'll be able to watch that. But Shin Kamen Rider, still a little bit of a ways off, but when it does come out, you got to check it out because
absolutely
it's like I didn't know what to expect at all. I just went into it like, okay, I love Shin Godzilla. I'm bummed that I missed Shin Ultraman, but let me not sleep on Shin Kamen Rider. And so it's like amazing because I had ideas of what I thought it might be like just because of like, Shin Godzilla. But it's like, it's so one for one with the old 1971 thing. Like there is minimal attempts made to like update it or bring it into the modern day, like little things here and there. And it definitely, again, like, Shin Godzilla had a lot of like GoPro footage. So there's some of that. Yeah. And then Shin Godzilla had like a lot of these like bureaucrats and like tech guys who were having these like meetings trying to figure out. So there was like a little bit of that too. And I even think like maybe some of the characters, some of the like bureaucrats and stuff from Shin Godzilla were in this too. But he was just like a huge fan of the original Kamen Rider and changed as little as you could.
Oh my god!
And like you know how in Kamen Rider when he defeats one of the bad guys, they turn into like soap bubbles.
Yes, I love that great effect.
I love the cheap special effects. Like that happens in this movie.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
They turn into soap bubbles. And also like, it starts off and he's fighting this this kind of like spider guy who's like the first opponent.
Episode,
the first episode. He's fighting this guy. And I thought like, oh, okay, this is going to be like the ongoing adversary, throughout this. It's going to build to some like big final battle towards the end of the movie. But no, he like kills this guy like almost immediately. And then that's when I realized, wait, they're doing like a whole season's worth of like 1971 Kamen Rider in this movie, and I was like, yes,
did you pop with that?
Yeah,
oh my god,
yeah, it was like, yes, okay. That guy was like, he was just an appetizer, and it did. There's even like this one opponent that he's gonna fight, who like it's also super bloody. It's super gory.
Nice. That's
like Kamen Rider fight, especially like early on, but like Kamen Rider fights, and then there's just like blood spraying everywhere. You know, this like really deep red blood just splattering everywhere. And you know, and then there's even like there's like a villain that he has to fight who like. It's got this big buildup, this big setup, and then it's got those like bureaucrats in their little van and stuff, and they have their little tactical teams, this big buildup, and then like a little later on, they're like, "Oh yeah, we liquidated that." You know, the big fight happens off screen, and it's very like I love it. But you know what it made me think of? It's like if somebody made a Batman movie where it was like the 1960s Adam West approach, and you make it a little more serious. You make it come together, but like you kind of keep the aesthetic and stuff. It was so amazing. Like
well,
it was, you know.
One of the things which we're seeing here is that I like it about this, and also like about the monkeys too. Is I like the way they shoot motorcycles in this, like dirt bikes, and like with their dune buggies, and the monkeys like it looks like he's about to wreck on the motorcycle every time. Very like dangerous looking. And, like I'm loving like
talking about the monkeys. It's like. It's, you know, early 70s, but it's still coming off of like the 60s. And it's like youth culture and like car culture and motorcycle culture and stuff. And yet like the transforming when the motorcycle transforms and stuff, like the effects in the actual movie aren't that different. But like, where it looks like, where it's like, just, you know, it's zoomed in real close on the parts of the motorcycle. So when the stuff like closes in on it and stuff, you know, it's just like a guy
moving it around.
Yeah. Who's just a little off camera.
Good. And
like I saw it with Ed Piskor, and we were talking about it, and we were like, this is like grand design. This is like Kamen Rider grand design, because it is like they're just, you know, it's like how much Kamen Rider like lore can we fit into this, and it is like bam bam bam, you know, rapid fire.
You're right. The car culture of the time, like even like Disney movies, you watch like of that era. Everyone's like, check out my like dune buggy, or check out my like paneled car, or I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and like when I was a kid watching like you'd Saturday mornings and stuff, and like afternoons after school and stuff, you'd see like the previous generation's stuff would be on, you know, and it would be a lot of like dune buggies. It was like Superbug was like one of the shows.
Oh,
and stuff.
hell yeah.
But like you have to have like 2 hit movies to be able to make a Kamen Rider your way, because you know like the studio probably was like, oh, you got to update it, you got to do this. And again, there are updates, they're extremely subtle, and then the fighting is just so great. It is like it's like cheapo tokusatsu fighting, but it's like on this like grand scale. The other thing, like, you know, like Shin Godzilla was like a deconstruction of like the Godzilla movie, like kind of taking it apart, putting it back together, and it follows the beat. And you're doing a translation of something, but still keeping it in the same medium. You're taking the old Godzilla movie from the 50s and making it into a new movie in, you know, 2016 or whatever. But with this, it's not. It is like the decisions you have to make are different, because this isn't. Shin Kamen Rider isn't a translation of a movie. It's a translation of this like ongoing TV series. So how do you take that energy and make it into a movie? And like we've seen with like the Power Rangers movie and stuff like that, where it's like they try to make like a movie out of it, and it doesn't work. It's like it's got to be kind of episodic, and you know,
Tom, like having it be episodic, is like, you guys must have like lost it whenever that. Like,
it was like, you know, it was like my kind of movie. It was like, that's, you know, and it's like, and sometimes it's like, oh, I guess this is going to be the villain of the movie. And sometimes it's a little bit of a bummer that, we're only going to get one villain, and you got to wait till the next movie to get another. But it's like, no, it's like boom, boom, boom. You know, it's like, you know, mowing them down.
One day we'll have to do the original, like the Fox Power Rangers movie. When that came out, because I was like, something I like, Mom, made the big time. 20th Century Fox. And I was like...
and I mean, I liked it well enough when it came out, but I knew at the time watching it, like, oh yeah, this like really suffers from the bloat, because the show gets you in and out so fast, and then this movie has to like
extend that,
and it's like, can't you just make a movie where it's like an hour and a half of the Power Rangers TV show?
That would be amazing.
You know,
Bulk and Skull.
That's one thing. Like Kamen Rider, like like where I heard about Kamen Rider, because I don't remember seeing that like Masked Rider or anything, but where I remember hearing about it was just as sort of like a comics fan and a video game fan, because they had that in Nintendo Power, they had like this serialized like Zelda 3, A Link to the Past. Yeah, they had this like comic adaptation of it, which was really amazing. And then they recently like, you know, put it, I guess maybe like 10 years ago or something as recently, but they collected it. When they would run it in Nintendo Power, it would say, you know, from the creator of Kamen Rider. And so I was like, oh, Kamen Rider, that sounds interesting. And then I checked out some other stuff. And then like recently they came out with like a re-release, like an English translation for the first time of, his name's Ishinomori. And they came out with his Kamen Rider manga and his Go Ranger manga, like the first season of Super Sentai, which, you know, later becomes Power Rangers. And they're just amazing comics. The Kamen Rider one's even better. And I started checking out some of his stuff that isn't translated to English. I started buying like Japanese language versions of Kikaider and you know, a couple other things. So it's great. Like the comics are like I like the Kamen Rider comic even better than the show.
Jeez, I gotta I have to tap into that.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Because this show, I mean, that's high praise too. Because like this show is scratching an itch.
Yeah.
Like it's really like,
you know,
tickling my
like
tickling me.
We have access to like so many different kinds of things. We're kind of lucky to live in this era where we have access to all this stuff. So like I can watch Ultraman. I can watch like all the seasons of Ultraman. I can watch all the seasons of Kamen Rider, you know, which, you know, like you're just like scratching the surface. It's you know, just been going strong. Like that's the other thing I think of with like the Adam West Batman. It's like you know, Kamen Rider started in 1971 and it's just been going ever since. And it's like, imagine if like the 1966 Batman was like that. Imagine if that just kept going and being reinvented and, you know, like.
So Tom, now that you mentioned that, having like, we need to get a current movie that just like does the Adam West Batman, like an updated version. That they wouldn't be like double winking. They could just like make it exactly like it. I would want to see that. Who's the new Adam West?
Who's the new Adam West? I mean, it would be like maybe he's getting older, but the new Adam West is Nicolas Cage is like the new Adam West.
Kidding me, Tom?
And he played. Yes! Did you ever see?
Yeah, he's doing like an Adam West impersonation.
He plays the Adam West Batman basically
so good
in there. So I've been checking out all this stuff. So and I've been checking out like the Kikaider show and movies and all this stuff, but I haven't gotten as deep into Kamen Rider as like the Super Sentai stuff, because I do miss the fact that a combining giant robot is not like part of the DNA of Kamen Rider. Like I do prefer like Kamen. I get the impression that Kamen Rider is kind of like the more respected property, but I just like I do miss the combining giant robot element. I think you know, like the Super Sentai series has a leg up on this for me personally.
The bad guys just laid them on train tracks.
Yeah. You're a fan of the monkeys. I like, you know, that's the thing that happens in the monkeys. And look, yeah, he busts out and yeah, like
he's wearing that suit too, which is nice
and
very
like
nice.
Yeah, the fashion in Shin Kamen Rider, it really like it's not a period piece. It's not supposed to take place in 1971. It's got, you know, modern looking settings and stuff, but the fashion, it's like you know, there's minuscule changes to it, and he's got the red scarf.
I think he's wearing. I think that jacket's crushed velvet. I'm thinking.
Yeah, Shin Ultraman, Shin Kamen Rider. They came out in these like very limited releases. Like the Shin Kamen Rider was a little bit of a longer release than the Shin Ultraman. The Shin Ultraman, I think, was maybe a little bit of a surprise hit. They only had it for like a couple days, and then it was gone, but I think it did really well. But Shin Kamen Rider was maybe like a week or two release. But still, it's like, this is good stuff. Like I understand it is different. It's made, you know, for a different audience with different expectations. But it's like, I mean, the screening I saw of it was packed.
Oh, hell yeah. Was it a hot crowd there?
Hot crowd, yeah, very into it. The funny thing is, it's like, I don't know what the business model is. I guess like there's this company that like will rent rent the space at the theater and then sell, and then like I think it's one of those kind of deals.
Oh,
it's
like a third party
kind of runs it. And so then all the ads like leading up to the movie being shown were all like ads by way of this show company, or I guess they do like live events and stuff like that. But like the ads, it was like very it's like, oh, this is like who they think we are, because like the ads would be like a bunch of cosplayers, and it would be like somebody dressed up as like Sailor Moon, and then somebody dressed up as a Vulcan, and like and then they're like, yeah, we love these kinds of events. I'm like, okay, this is like they think that's what we are. I felt very talked down to.
Yeah, they like show the screening. They're like. There's a Trojan condom commercial, but they like pull it. They're like, "Whoops, sorry, wrong
crowd." Yeah, I love these like lizard monsters in Kamen Rider. Like they look like Slee Stack or something. Yes. Like, again, it's just like imagine if like Land of the Lost had like some really cool combat in it. You know what I mean? Like like if you just like kind of stick with things, they're kind of like everything. Like all the great stuff that we grew up with, it's kind of like they bail on it the second things aren't smooth sailing. Yeah,
Tom, like, my gosh, and then the villains, they got like the Hamburglar masks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so funny because they do like in the way they updated the sort of like henchmen was really cool too, because they had these like. They had pretty much that outfit, with like berets and stuff, all in black. But then they had these like kind of like masks down here instead of up here. They had like face masks that were like spider. That's like an actual like spider, a white spider kind of thing. And then they'd like shoot webs and stuff. It was funny. Like it does feel like it's kind of like. Because Kamen Rider, first he has to fight a spider, and then he has to fight a bat.
That bat thing is so scary.
He's fighting Spider-Man and then Batman. It's like, it felt like, The
bat is so creepy, the way they light him, and he has like human eyes. You can see like the person's eyes under the mask.
The bat in the movie was like very bizarre, and to the point of like seeming like maybe parody or something, but it was like really like... weird.
I cannot wait to watch this movie.
You gotta say,
holy
like
shit.
it's like I don't understand why it's not more available. But again, Shin Ultraman will be out this month, but then Shin Kamen Rider you'll have to wait a few months for.
There was like, so when we played Little League when we were little, like my brothers played as well, and we went to this field where there was 3 baseball fields, and when they played, my brothers, I was there with my friends because their brothers played too, and we would just hang out and like dick around and go around the baseball field. But if we would go through the woods, there was like a stone quarry there, and we would like, you could jump down onto this giant pile of rocks and stuff, and we would pretend we would do like. We would be like the Masked Rider would show up. Like it's like it was the perfect setting.
Yeah, it looks like where they would film. Yeah, that sounds like where they would film.
And we'd be like, we would
now
do fake martial arts and stuff.
When you would watch this like Masked Rider thing, like was it like Power Rangers? Did they like just keep the special effects and the fighting, and then substitute like different actors and different storylines? Or
I can't really remember. Like, the last time I watched it was probably when I was in middle school. And I didn't watch it as much. Like, when we would go to that quarry, we were doing Power.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say, okay, I thought maybe you like
and then a truck came by and like beat up we got all beat up. It was the employees of the quarry beat us up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like railroad bulls or something.
Guys on the 2-man push cart came by, kicked our ass.
Watching this, and even watching like the movie, is kind of inspiring because it feels like it's like within your grasp to like make something like this.
It's just like creative camera shots. It's like you're using like the whatever's around, but like action packed. Like, love this. I'm obsessed now, Tom. Thanks for
yeah, Kamen Rider. I mean, it's a phenomenon. It's a smash. It's something that's been hugely popular for longer than we've been alive. So yeah, better late than never to get into it. And yet it it became like a whole merchandising phenomenon in the toy, getting like the belt that spins around and stuff.
Yeah.
And like if you look like for every season and stuff, you can get like the sort of replica belts that do, and it's always like a variation on that. I mean, it's branched off in a bunch of directions. But again, like if they had like the combining robots,
that would take it to
I guess they want to keep the Super Sentai kind of special, and
get on my dirt bike and like do some like donuts. I'm gonna head down to the quarry and get my ass kicked by those railroad bulls.
And at the end of the movie, they play the actual like Kamen Rider opening from the 70s. Like they do the whole movie thing, but then as like a little bonus at the end, like a little after credits thing, you can watch like the actual Kamen Rider intro.
I love it when someone's like bent over handlebars and they're like just blowing like air in their face.
Yeah.
Like
I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and from Image Comics, Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. And in the show notes below, there's pre-order links that you can follow for each of those books.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli. Follow me on Instagram at Tom_Scioli. And support my Patreon. Go to patreon.com. Search Tom Scioli.
Follow the show on Instagram at total_recall_show.
Yeah, and like, follow, and subscribe to the Total Recall Show.
We'll see you out there at the quarry.
At the quarry, yeah.